There are some files that you will need in order to follow along with some of the lectures and some of the CBCs. So in order to download all of those files that you will need, if you navigate to the class in your learning portal, click on resources. Under bookmarks for week 1, there is one that is called GitHub class info. If you go ahead and click on that, you will bring up a bunch of different links in here. So first, we've got the GitHub repository for the class. We've got the class Discord channel. We've got some information about the books. The easiest way to download the files is from the general information page. If you click on code here, you can say download a zip. It's going to zip all of the files that are necessary for this class, and it will start downloading it onto your machine. Once it is done downloading, if you unzip it, please make sure you put it into a location that you're aware. So I'm going to say my documents, I'm going to make a CS150 folder, and I'm going to call it class code. I'm going to go ahead and open it, and that's where I'm going to unzip everything. I'm going to hit extract, and it's going to unzip all those files, and it's going to automatically put all the files that are up there in that GitHub onto my hard drive. That way, if I want to follow along in the lecture, I can do that. So now if I go over to my documents, GT150 class code, general information, here are all my files. Make sure you do know where you're putting them because you will need to find them at a later time. Another good way to get your data files out of GitHub and onto your local hard drive is by using the GitHub desktop. So if you've installed GitHub desktop, you're able to log into your GitHub account and download any of your own repositories. In order to do that, I can do File, New Repository, or I can click on the arrow next to this, and it will have a list of all the repositories I have. So I'm going to walk through adding one. I can click on the Add button, and I want to say clone. Clone is then going to make sure that what I have on my hard drive is the same as what is up in GitHub. It'll automatically take me to my GitHub repositories, and I can start typing in the beginning letters of what I want to actually see. So I'm going to say CBC2. There's no zero. CBC2, and it brings up that CBC. I can also choose a path for it so I know where it is, but just remember you need to know where that path is if you're going to use the NetBeans later on. If I go ahead and click on clone, it says that it's cloning and it is showing all of my files. I can now click on that, and in this I can show in Explorer or view it on GitHub. This is also going to tell me right now that I have on my hard drive what is up in GitHub. If I say show in Explorer, it will then take me to that folder. I can then click on the file I want, right click and say open with, and I can choose another app so I can put it in NetBeans, or I can open up NetBeans here. I can say file, open file, and as long as I know where they are, the default is going to be in your My Documents folder in a folder called GitHub, and then each of your projects or repositories that you download are going to have its own. So I have CBC2, and I can go ahead and open that for changing. Here, I'm going to put my name here, and I'm going to save. File, save. I'm going to exit out of that. And when I come back to my GitHub desktop, it tells me that I have a change here. In order to put that change back up in GitHub, I can give it a description here, or I can just click commit to main. It's going to ask me, do I want to push my commits back up to GitHub? So I say yes, go ahead and push them. Now everything is synced together. I have 0 change files. My hard drive matches what is up in GitHub. This to me is a lot easier than doing the download in the zip way. So now you have 2 different ways in order to get your files from GitHub onto your hard drive.